I've decided to select this very topic because of its abrogating and antagonistic effects to this nation. To begin with, Mr. Speaker.
Can I hear from the majority caucus?
Sorry?
Because I could hear your leader giving us a very big grammar.
Right, Honorable.
Yeah.
It's not that. Continue, Master Planner.
Nice one, Mr. Speaker. To begin with, mining is a major economic activity in many developing countries. In Ghana, Mr. Speaker, mining activities can be traced as back in the days of colonialism, when the country was called Gold Coast due to its gold resources. Mr. Speaker, currently, a source from the Ghana
Honorable Majority Leader, please, you have 2 minutes to introduce the motion before the House. So whatever that you have to do, please do it as fast as you can.
Thank you very much. Currently, Ghana is ranked C in terms of gold production. And you can check this from gold mining production by the World Bank or World Gold Council, which was published on the 31st December 2021. Mr. Speaker, until the introduction of the small-scale mining law, which is PNDC law LI 218, in attempt by the government then to what? Make or to formalize small-scale mining. Any form of mining during those days was legal. But with the introduction of this law, we had something called illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey. And Mr. Speaker, where from this, someone will ask, where from this word galamsey? Galamsey was derived from a word, gather them and sell. This was the origin of what? The term or our local term galamsey. If you go to other Francophone countries, Mr. Speaker, galamsey is also called oraphilos in our neighboring Francophone countries. Mr. Speaker, we have so many causes of galamsey and then effects of what? Galamsey. When you take the causes, for instance, we have youth desire to get rich quicker. We have high cost of living in the country, school dropouts, high gold demand by foreign countries, among others. When it comes to the effect, gold or galamsey has major and numerous effects on health, ranging to environmental degradation, education, among others.
Wrapping up.
In wrapping up, Mr. Speaker, some of the suggestions I'll put before this House, I know I've highlighted them and then we'll give you the nitty-gritty of these suggestions. But fast forward, before we can stop galamsey, or in steps of stopping galamsey, there's both government and then the citizenry or the nation should be involved in this fight against galamsey. We, the citizens, should be security conscious. The chief or traditional rulers should also protect their stool land. MMDC should also ensure that government policies and laws on mining are enforced. As country, we have
Honorable Majority Leader, do you hereby move the motion before the House?
Fantastic. Before putting the motion before the House, government should also create employment opportunity, establish laws and guidelines on mining activities. With the above explanation on mining,
please push the motion before the House.
Exactly. With the above explanation on mining or illegal mining, causes and effects and solution, I hereby forward this motion to this August House, and I'm certainly sure the majority and the minority will join and second this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Can I get a resounding here from the majority caucus?
Yeah.
That's in order. So, Honorable Minority Leader, I hope you are with us.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker.
Hi. Okay, so kindly do the needful.
A very good evening to the Honorable House, and thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to have a bite of the motion before the House. I stand on already established protocols to put before the House the stance of the minority caucus. I am A.K. Zabari Jr., the minority leader and the honorable member for Wenchi constituency of the Bono East and Ahafo Regional House. As already established, it is an honor to address this House on such an eminent social menace that is eating the moral fiber of the Ghanaian educational and socio-economic growth and development of our country. The devastating effect of galamsey, driven from the word or the Ghanaian phrase or English language phrase called gather and sell, is one such topics that as young people growing up, it is our responsibility to stand up to the task and rally behind the efforts of government in our individual and collective areas to nip this canker in the bud. And so in such a time that we have such a very good topic coming up, it is a clarion call not only to the majority, but I think a national developmental call that we all need to stand up to. In saying this, I would only want to end here and have the individuals, honorable members present, and then we have a stance on the motion before the House. On this, and to this very end, I wish to state that the business before the House have the very support of the minority caucus, and I hereby move and second as well that the motion before the House be duly adopted and discussions continued as well. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yeah, I love what the minority caucus are doing. I like what you are doing. Thanks very much. So, all those who are in favor of the motion should say yeah.
Yes.
And all those who are not in favor of the motion should say nay.
Nay.
Hey, wow. So the ayes have it. The ayes have it. So the motion is now open for discussion. So if you want to make a submission, kindly raise up your hand so that I can call you. So this is how we are going to do the debate. I will call 2 people from the majority side and 2 people from the minority side, and also take one after we come to the leadership of the caucus. So if you are the majority leader or the minority leader, please kindly take time, because I'm going to give you full 7 minutes to make a very wonderful and then beautiful presentation before the House. So aside that, let me know if you have any. I have Honorable Adunyakun hands raised. And who again? Who else is joining Honorable Adunyakun? Okay, so Honorable Adunyakun, please, which caucus are you? Hello, Honorable Adunyakun. Okay, it's on mute. So now speak louder, press here. Okay, so Honorable Samuel Chatim, please, which caucus do you belong to? Kindly unmute yourself and let's hear you. Honorable Samuel Chatim, please kindly unmute your microphone. Honorable Samuel.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. So
Please,
may you
can you
introduce yourself, your name? Sure, I can hear you. Your name, your constituency, and then the caucus that you belong to. Then we kick the ball rolling.
All right. My name is Honorable Samuel Chatim, YMP for Bono, Sunyani East. And then I am currently the Deputy Majority Leader for the caucus. And then this evening I stand to speak for the motion that is put before the caucus this evening. And please, the network is good, so come again with my time so that I may know I will not speak more than the time so that you'll be stopping me.
Okay, so it's now 7:30. You have 5 minutes. So by 7:36 exactly, you wrap up with your presentation. Then we go to another speaker. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, please, giving me this mandate, I would like us to draw back to a small history of Ghana that led to this mining or the illegal mining we are talking about, known as Galamsey. In starting with, I would like to draw us back small to the history of Ghana. We will all be witness to the fact that Ghana we call today was not known by that name. Ghana was formerly called the Gold Coast. Why? Because it was seen as the coast for gold. Back in the late old days, that is the early 1647, that a man called Gomez, who was a Portuguese, wrote a letter to the king of Portugal in Ghana as a representative here in the early 1647, that he want to come to West Africa, specifically Ghana, and trade for 5 years. So as Gomez wrote this letter to the king of Portugal as a representative or ambassador to the then Gold Coast, he said, okay, we will give you that permit for you to come. And then Gomez was allowed to come to the then Gold Coast, now known as Ghana. When he came, he traded and settled at a place called Shama and at the part of Elmina. So he started his trading. And then this trading was about gold. As the previous days, our forefathers were able to just gather the gold, not digging deep inside the holes or tunnels or spoiling of waters, but rather getting the gold even from the farms, and even some sea coast, they will get the gold from the river banks and keep it. So they were selling this gold to these people. So Gomez was there and he settled at a place called Edina. This place was named after a Portuguese name, a Portuguese language known as Lamina, which simply means the mine. So in all these things happening in the then Gold Coast, mining by the people of Gold Coast were not seen as an issue of calamity by then. It was also not seen as a way to turn down the communities or to bring in the limits of the country by then. Now, people have started to mine. And in the process of mining in our current days has become the question of all everyone is asking, and has become the challenge for which everyone is trying to come together to fight for it. And now that is the unauthorized way of mining. How come has now mining known by the previously, which wasn't seen as illegal, but now has been turned as a form of illegal? I will first talk about the way in which mining is being done. I'm currently at a place where this galamsey is always in session. If I should go out now, you will be hearing the machine making the noise throughout the whole night. Why is that so? Now, even in a community where the people are living, there is these people called the Galamsey guys. They will even come, start digging around the houses in the community, taking away all this soil, the sand away to grind it and the gold in it. And now it's for fame, and they say it's so the water bodies here has been spoiled by these young guys. So if the borehole in the town and the pipe is stopped working for 3 days, there becomes the calamity of this community over here. In this practice that the youth of today and some people of today has engaged themselves in, has now called for the need to put measures to it so that it could be stopped, so that the destroying of properties, destroying of the water bodies, things that is bringing the economic sector in Ghana to a loss will be kept. And then now that has become the way that now mining, which was previously not illegal, but now the way on which the youth of today and the people of today are going through the mining sector have made it to become illegal. Now, to the cause. How then should we
have
say
1 minute
it has
more,
been...
please.
Yeah, okay. Now,
and also, you said you are in a certain community, so kindly provide us the name of the community.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm now in a place called Akokere, and then Akokere is known to be closer to Obuasi. So this place is a place known to be a place for mining. And the youth has engaged in this mining activities. And it has called for even me doing my out program as a teacher at one of the schools here, ATT Practice Demonstration School. The student as Form 1, JHS 1, goes out to this illegal mining session activities. And about a week, he will be attending for school for 3 days, only 2 sessions in school and 3 days out to the illegal mining activities. And I would say the government alone cannot curb this. We have to come together as a body. If I am a person who is having a land that is containing that mining, that is containing the gold, I must know the proper way by which this can be mined legally through following the acts and then the legal process of mining in Ghana, without giving it to people who will come because of the money they want and because of
without
the money I
giving
want
it to people who come
personal interest.
Honorable Sami, thank you very much for such a very wonderful presentation, and I believe you have really enlightened me a lot. So if there's a time for you to come back, I will give you the opportunity to.
I'll be grateful also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do I have Honorable Afrani Sami here? Honorable Afrani Samuel, are you with me, please? Honorable Adunyako, I think now you are back. Are you with us?
Yes, please, I'm with you.
Oh, okay. So you are also to make a presentation. So I'm giving you 5 good minutes. It is now 7:38. So you know when you are supposed to stop. The floor is yours.
All right. Mr. Speaker and the honorable members present, good day to you all. As mentioned earlier, Honorable Adunyako Akwamere is my name, the first Deputy Majority Speaker, Minister for Health, and then the YMP for Sini East constituency as well. Honorable Speaker, to take into consideration the motion set before the House, it is a motion to help the nation rise on its feet. I mean, government alone cannot cure galamsey or illegal mining. On my perspective, I would say the government has done a lot in curing this galamsey, popularly known as illegal mining, in the English language. So I have an article according to the Minister for Information on May 24th, 2019, speaking about the measures that the government has put in place in curing the illegal mining. So it is now for us to also stand to help the government in fighting against this canker. So among the measures put in place by the government were the establishment of an inter-committee against illegal mining to deal with the crisis situation. Also, the provision of required support for the operations of YMP, a 1.5-year moratorium on all small-scale mining to facilitate the identification of and dealing with illegal mining activities, and also vetting of small-scale miners to ensure they understand and
Honorable
will
member,
comply
you
with the
just made
legal.
mention of a certain abbreviation of which it is new to us. So kindly make it clear
I said
before the House. Thank you.
Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining. That's IMCIM.
Okay, you can go on.
Vetting of small-scale miners to ensure they understand and will comply with the legal and regulatory requirements. Operation Vanguard, which has attracted huge success as far as our land, especially the timidity of our water bodies are concerned. Community mining scheme by which over 100 registered cooperatives in Galamsey Prone District. The bulk of members of this cooperative are made up of over 4,000 artisan mine graduates of University of Mines at Takwa, that's UMAT. These graduates are to assess by the Minerals Commission to obtain portion of blocked out areas within the mineral cadres for them to undertake sustainable mining practices. And also, one of the provisions is adequate monitoring system has been put in place, which includes establishment of the district mining committee at the various mining districts. Additionally, additional regional district and satellite mining offices are built up also. This is to bring the regular Minerals Commission closer to the artisanal small-scale miners and their communities. 220 mining guards have been trained, with additional 280 waiting to be trained in order to man the above-mentioned offices. Logistics, including vehicles, motor bicycles, drones, and mobile communication gadgets, have been produced by the government as well. So considering this, I think in my own perspective, the government is doing a lot in curing the galamsey. So the government hasn't failed in fighting against the galamsey. This is the time that we the citizen, or we all have to arise as nation to put politics aside, fight against galamsey, because when we make the positive and negative effect of galamsey and weigh it on a scale, we can see that the negative effect of galamsey is really killing us than the positive effect of galamsey. We shouldn't say because of money our water body should spoil. Because of money we should kill aquatic animals, including the lifespan of people that will die underground. So the government also helped the confiscation of over XSS excavators nationwide and the banning of importation of new excavators. It must be noted that excavators constitute the most deadly equipment in galamsey operations. The confiscation of an estimated 80% and the banning of further imports alongside the due tracking of the legal mandate once ensure that the predominance of illegal mining has been curtailed. Mr. Speaker, additionally, XXS person has been
Okay, honorable member, your time is up. I gave you 5 minutes and I also added 1 more minute for you to make a very resounding submissions before the House. So thank you very much for your submissions.
All right, Honorable, you are welcome.
Okay, so do I have Honorable Afrani here, and whoever also wants to make a submission or presentation before the House, you can raise your hand so that I give you the opportunity to do the needful. Before I come to the leaders of the various caucus, Anita, Benjamin, Akandi, Kekeli, Melody, Evans, Asamoah, Ojoa, Asumani, Margaret Dezo, please, what do you have to say relating to the topic? Michael, Adombila, Musa, Sharif, Prisla, Francis, and okay, Mr. Frane. So, okay. So, Honorable Kwajo Asumani, may you unmute yourself and then you explain your stand before the House.
Good evening, honorable members.
Good
Mr. Speaker,
evening,
how many minutes
Honorable.
if I may ask?
Everybody, provided you are not a leader, you have 5 good minutes. So you have 5 minutes to make your presentation. Thank you.
All right, I'm the YMP for Kintampo North constituency and also double as the majority chief whip. Currently at Tachiman South.
Okay, so meaning that I've gotten 3 members from the majority side, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so right after you, then we go to the minority. So if you are a minority member, kindly get prepared because I'm going to give you the same opportunity to make your house. Honorable, may go on. It's now 7:45. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My colleagues, the case of Galamsey has been with us for quite some time now. And people who live in those mining communities, they will testify to the fact of the dangers or the harm that it has been causing. I remember 2020, I was moving around the country. Let me put it out, moving around the country, and I go to some places where Galamsey is really there. And I realized that people there, they only think about today and they don't think about tomorrow. That is one thing. So generally, people who engage in a Galamsey, they only think about what they will get today and they don't think about tomorrow. That is one fact. And then secondly, yes, is that some people, I have had the opportunity to engage some people who have been engaging in this Galamsey, and you realize that a good number of them will say that when the water bodies are destroyed, we will buy sachet water or we buy Vortic. They say that. Or when we run out of food we will buy on the market. So clearly, it's like the citizenry, some of them don't bother about the consequences of the Galamsey. That is one fact. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was in an area where Galamsey was starting. And myself, together with some people,
Honorable member, please, can you distance yourself from the child who is crying, please? It is.
Come again, please.
Thank you.
I'm wrapping up. I'll wrap up very soon. And myself and some other friends of mine, we had the opportunity to meet a session of the traditional council.
I'm saying that, can you distance yourself from where the crying is coming from?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is it okay now? Hey.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. So we had the opportunity to meet a session of traditional council, and we were amazed by what one of the kingsmen said, that at least it will put monies in the pockets of the youth and also put food on people's table. So, and people believe that Galamsey is a sort of revenue for them without them thinking about the consequences of what will happen to us. And this call that the government is making, trust me, when there happens to be a severe consequences, it's not a central government that will be affected most. We in the rural areas and the areas where the Galamsey is being championed, that will be affected. And I don't know if anybody has said what I'm about to say, that UN has banned Ghana cocoa because of Galamsey, and it was Cote d'Ivoire that took us to court. I don't know if anybody of you has said that. You should have read it online. You see, so when the
okay, so Honorable, where did you get that?
I'll share it with you, Mr. Speaker. I'll share it with you shortly, Mr. Speaker. I'll share it with you.
The information that you are giving, can you give us? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll share it. Yeah. And
you can continue.
all right. So when the consequences come, it's not about the central government or whoever is championing it. And the more reason why I see the fight against Galamsey has become tough for the government is, to some extent, the mindset of the people engaged in it. Personally, my senior brother was at one of the Galamsey sites, and one day he called me and then he was telling me what happened, what has been happening there. The only thing at the end of the conversation, what he said was that, Kojo, I know you and some other guys to be fighting Galamsey in your own way. Kindly go ahead, because the kind of danger that is ahead of the country in respect to the Galamsey is so massive. Do you get it? So this call for we ought to put a halt or to put a stop to end to the Galamsey is not only, it should not be only dependent on the central government. We know these are politicians, some of them are well-to-do. So if there happens to be food shortage, water shortage, or the Galamsey should cause us a havoc in the country, trust me, some of them may even decide to flee out of the country. What of the poor ones? What of those who cannot flee out of the country? What happens to them? Do we get it? So this should be something that all minded citizens, sorry for my words, but that is the right word I should choose. All minded citizens should make it a point that this fight against Galamsey is not one man's fight. We all should come together collectively as a nation and then possibly to do whatever we can to make sure we abolish Galamsey from our midst. And trust me, it will be very, very difficult. It will be very difficult in the sense that those who are engaged in these activities are our brothers and our sisters who are engaged in it. So you can imagine someone you know personally that
those who are engaged in these activities are our brothers and our sisters. Honorable Kwajo Asumani, thank you very much for such a wonderful and very beautiful submission. I added you 1 more minute, so your time is up. We now move to the minority caucus. So the motion before the House has been read before you is Galamsey has caused more harm than good, government responsibility or national responsibility. It is now time or the turn for the minority caucus members to also have their say before or on this motion. So can you raise up your hand if you have anything to say regarding the motion? It is now 10 for the minority members. Okay, so Honorable Zideme Melody Kulu, can you unmute your microphone and follow the norm? You introduce yourself with your constituency, then you make the floor jam. So the time is now 7:52. You also have equal 5 minutes to make your presentation. The floor is yours, honorable member. Thank you. Honorable Melody.
Hello.
Yes, please. We are waiting on you.
Sorry, my network is good evening. My name is
the network is...
so yeah, the network is... Hello.
Can you reposition yourself? The reception is very, very bad. Okay, so whilst Honorable Melody, I'll call on Honorable Evans Asamoah to have his say on the motion. So Honorable Melody, I've not cut you off, but kindly get a very favorable place that you can communicate with us. Thank you very much. Honorable Asamoah. Can you unmute your microphone?
Good evening, House.
Okay, good evening.
Good people of Nkranza South. On this motion, what I have to say is, in tackling with these galamsey issues in the country, I personally see it to be so political. You're in a few days now, or even before 2016, 2020 elections, you all saw what our politicians were saying about galamsey. And even just some few years ago, when excavators were being bent, of which the National Women Organizer by name Kate Jamfua's excavator was bent, most of Ghanaians tagged it as political. And then we see an interview being granted by the National Communications Director, Mr. Sami Jamfi, dated 8th June 2021, who was telling the MPPs or the sitting president and his political party to be sincere in dealing with these galamsey issues. So everything about this has tended to be so political, to the extent that even our local chiefs, because what I know is, in Ghana or this part of the world, our lands are being managed and controlled by our traditional leaders. So someone cannot perform this activity without the knowledge of our traditional leaders. So definitely, whilst our leaders, our political leaders are getting involved, our traditional leaders are also getting more and much involved. But here is the case, a lot of natural resources, so like our waters and others, are getting destroyed. So I think we need to, in fighting with these galamsey issues, we need to do away with politics. Right now, it has tended to be something that our politicians always depend on for votes. Well, I remember during Anado's campaign in 2020's election, somewhere 2016, 2020, yeah, he even swore that in dealing with this galamsey fight, he was going to put his seat down. He was going to resign as the president if he is not able to fight the galamsey. And now what do we see? Everything has got out of hand. So I think in dealing with this, we need to be nationalistic rather than being so political before we can fight this galamsey. Thank you, Honorable Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. So the fight against galamsey, is it the responsibility of the government or that of the citizens?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. That's why I said, as a nation, the government alone cannot fight this galamsey. It depends on the government and our traditional leaders. And here is the case, our traditional leaders are even getting involved in it. Because before someone can go to a place to perform that act, the person must see the traditional leaders. Somewhere 2019, I went to Doma, a town called YMP, and a friend took me to a place, a very small place. It was nearby a certain river. And you could see how the galamseys have destroyed the place. I was like, wow, what the place was.
No. Okay, so meaning that the chiefs or the citizenry has also failed in supporting the government to combat acts of the galamsey.
Yeah, because
thank you very much.
To play. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Melody, the floor is yours. Justify yourself. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, please, can you hear? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but the network The network is trying to cut you off. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. The network still is a problem. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't want you to have your, it doesn't want to connect you with us.
Yeah.
So can I give you one more chance to get a very nice place? Because we want to hear from you, but here's the case that we cannot hear whatever that you say. So I'll go on to call Honorable Jonathan. Then I come to Musa, then we go to the majority leader, and then we come back to the minority leader. So Honorable Melody, you still have one more chance to come back again. So get a very nice place and then raise up your hand. I will give you the opportunity to talk. So Honorable Jonathan, kindly unmute yourself and make your presentation before the House. Just remember the motion that Galamsey has caused more harm than good, government responsibility or that of the citizens. So the floor is yours. You have 5 minutes. It is now 8 o'clock exactly. So by 8:05, you are done. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am the Minister for Justice and Attorney General. The fight against illegal mining should be a national fight, but not the government. Now, the fight has become difficult for the government because the citizens are not cooperating because of political grounds and greed, as I would say. Some people feel like if they don't engage in those illegal mining activities, they will not get their daily bread. They will not get money, forgetting that illegal mining activities is causing more harm than it is causing good to them. Now they don't have fertile farmlands. They are not able to cultivate any kind of foodstuffs there. And those areas are villages. But when you get there, the food items are more expensive than in the towns. So they rather come to towns to buy food and transport it back to the village. Why I say it is a national fight is I have gotten the opportunity to fight against illegal mining myself personally. Since 2012 to 2019. In fact, 2017, when Nanado launched the Operation Vanguard, I was part of the first batch that went to fight against the canker. In fact, we visit villages or communities where these illegal activities are taking place, and you realize that the chiefs themselves, before somebody will come into the community to engage in illegal mining, they will come and see the chief and the Abushapeni and others. Then they will take theirs. They will take some to the district assembly levels. Then they will also take theirs. And in fact, all the members who are high-profile persons in the communities takes their share before they allow the people to go and mine. We got to a certain community in Takwa. In fact, just behind the chief's palace, there was illegal mining activity. We questioned the chief, and he was like, he is not aware. Behind your house, you said you are not aware. Lo and behold, we arrested the people who were there on our way to Takwa. That was where we were based. The MP for Takwa was chasing us. In fact, we had to arrest him. So you see, the individuals, because of greed, like their selfish interest, they are not cooperating with the government
to fight the illegal mining. So I think the canker should be a national, a collective effort, but not only government. And the politics attached to the illegal mining is something that is making it worse. Thank you.
Okay,
Honorable
so
Speaker.
honorable member. Yeah, so thank you very much. But you were mentioning, or you made mention of greed and then the political colors of the citizenry that they are not willing to cooperate with the government to fight this canker. But I want to ask, don't you think that the government is not effective in supplying some of the basic needs of the people, that is giving the people to go and engage in galamsey?
Well, Honorable Speaker, you see, there are other communities. Hello, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, I'm with you, please.
Okay, there are communities in Ghana that do not engage in illegal mining, and they are doing very well. You see, it depends on how you start yourself, like how you build the foundation.
Okay.
I happen to come from the north, and what we do is yam farming. We farm yam. So even if there is gold deposits in the communities, everybody has the mindset that we are going to farm yam. Nobody would think about going to mine. So specifically,
honorable, but I don't know where you come from. Right now, I'm in the Upper West. But are you aware that there is a galamsey going on around Sola and also now Laura? Are you aware of it?
Yes, I am aware. That is why I said it is out of greed, like their selfish interest.
Okay.
And because they are not willing to.
So they are not willing to thank you
to support
for
government's fight.
Your submissions. You have a lot to say. People want to say more than you do, and then the time is too limited. So permit me to give time to Honorable Musa Sule to also have his take on the motion. Then I'll go back to, I don't know, Honorable Margaret Dezo. We have not had a female contributing towards this discussion. So I'll give you the opportunity because Honorable Melody's line was not favorable. So after Honorable Musa Sule, I'll give Honorable Margaret Dezo the last chance before I go to the leadership. Then we continue from there. So Honorable Musa Sule, you have 5 minutes. It is now 8:07.
Thank you, Speaker. And good evening to you, Speaker, and good evening to the whole House. Speaker, as someone who is coming from a mining area and specifically a Galamsey area, that is the Sutifi South, I would say that I will blame the government more on this issue. The reason why I will blame the government more on this issue is we elect leaders to solve problems, not to share problems with us. Our leaders are to solve our problems. If our leaders decide to share the problems they have or we have, or the problems we have elected them to come and solve, then what is the reasoning? What is the essence of electing them? What is the essence of getting them into the leadership? The government must have the political will to fight it. You cannot just tell citizens to stop doing the wrong thing and they will stop doing it. As far as they get their earnings, as far as they get their daily bread from in, there is no way they will just stop it. You cannot just go and tell somebody that stop the work that you are doing and the person will stop it, simply because the person is a citizen and therefore the person must just obey the rules or the laws or the constitution. No, that is why we have armed robbers who continue to steal people. It is the duty of the government to fight against it. So this Galamsey issue, the government must be serious. The people must see the government, the seriousness of the government, so that these people could also help the government. But if there's no seriousness, if there is no political will, then the people will also not do anything to help the government. They will just relax, and those who are doing it will continue to do it. So the government must show the political willingness, the seriousness. You cannot arrest some people and leave others and think everything will solve one day. You cannot arrest some people, get them inside, you let them pay some money, then you release them. The moment you let them pay the money and you release them, they will come back and go and do it, because they know if you arrest them, you will ask them to pay certain money, and they will pay it and they will come back. The money they are getting from this illegal mining is 10 times, 100 times the money you ask them to pay. So if they go in, let's say they go in, and at the end of the day, the money they will get is 10 times what you arrest them and ask them to pay. Why not go and do it? You come and arrest us, we pay the money to you, you release that again, we will come back and do it. So the willingness, the political willingness, the seriousness of the government is the most important thing. So I will urge the government and everybody that the government should be serious. The people must see the seriousness of the government. They must see the political willingness that we are arresting everybody. We are not leaving some people and arresting others. We are not taking money. If we arrest you as illegal miner, you will be jailed, and not take money from you and release you. No, you must be jailed. They should not leave some people and allow others to mine. No, there must be constant security at these illegal places. Constant security. Guide the places. Let's make that places a security zone areas. This will deter people. It will make people run away. Why do people fear to go and steal, or why do people fear to go and maybe go into armed robbery and other things? Because they know if they go, they might be shot, they might be arrested and jailed. So that those 1, 2, 3 people who go, or the few people who venture into it, they venture into it knowing that they can be killed. And so they risk their life. But if you allow people that they should do it, then you will come and arrest them. They will pay certain fund, then you release them. Then please, there's no way we can solve it. You cannot just tell people that this thing is destroying your water bodies. It is destroying your lands, so you should stop it. The person is getting his daily income or a daily income from there. You are telling the person to stop it. The person will ask you, I should stop it and go and do what? But if you enforce the law, if you force people to do it, then they will do it. They will change. If you ask them, if you arrest them, jail them, the rest who will see that you've jailed others will know that if I also go and do this, I'll be jailed and I will not go in and do it. So, Speaker, I will say...
Okay, but honorable member, but I hope we have seen a lot of people being caught and being jailed, or there has not been an instance where somebody has been caught from doing the galamsey and being jailed.
Speaker, we've seen people being jailed, but the question is, what is the significance? What is the... what did it bring when you arrest 10 people? Speaker, when you arrest 10 people and you jail 2 and you leave 8 people, maybe you find the 8 and you jail only 2 and you leave the 8 people to come back to pay a certain fund and come home. Speaker, what do you think it will happen? The 8 people will come back knowing that if you arrest them, you will still demand money from them. So they know that it is those 2 you jailed. It is...
Hello?
Yeah, Speaker, yeah, my line actually went off. So what I was saying is...
Okay. So, Honorable, we are far behind time. Thank you for your submissions.
Okay.
You have really made us to learn a lot. So, Honorable Margaret, I'll give you 3 minutes, please, because of how far we've gone. And I go to the leadership of the caucuses, and if there's a need for one from the various caucus to make a submission, I will do. But for now, please, you have 3 minutes. It is now 8:14, so by 8:17 exactly, I will be letting you to.
Okay. Okay. Good evening to the House, and thanks for the opportunity. I'm Margaret Deho, YMP for Ketu North, and I'm glad to speak to this issue that Galamsey has caused more harm than good, and whether it's a government responsibility or a national responsibility. You know, we live, to start with, let me just say, we live in a quite a corrupt and political environment. Our environment is very political, and everything that happens is attributed to politics in one way or the other. But before we delve into that, let's look at what the real causes are. You know, these individuals that are engaged in Galamsey know very well you can lose your life. Anything can happen. They know the menace of Galamsey. They know it's very well. But you know, we live in a system that everybody is just struggling to survive. So they feel that is the only way of survival for them as people from those areas. You know, when you travel to some of those communities and you see the destruction that Galamsey has brought, it's just sad. And you don't want to assume that the people there are not seeing these effects. But it's just because most of them feel there's no other thing to do apart from what the Galamsey. So now, how do we solve this problem? Because the point is, you can't just go there and sack these people. If you want to jail them, you jail them. But the bottom line is, the people are looking for ways of survival. So what are you going to do? So you can't possibly say individuals on their own should get up and fight this fight. And at the same time, you can't say the government should take it up alone by themselves of the government. And these lands are owned by these chiefs. But they find ways of giving these lands out to these people. They destroy these lands, they move to other communities, and they do the same. Then government will want to say, okay, it's a national responsibility. Everybody should take it up by themselves. With what power? For me, I can't go and arrest anybody and take them there. It's government that has to give the power to the people to act. And this power should be strong enough. And you know, the sad part of it is, most of these people that are into Galamsey, we learned some of them are politically inclined. So you even arrest them, then somebody goes to talk for them, then they are released, then they go back to it. So for me, I feel government should take up responsibility and stop being too political about this issue. You can't sit down and not provide jobs for these people and expect them to stop what they are doing for their sustenance. Government will have to find a way of creating jobs for these people. Then this menace, at least, if you can't stop it entirely, at least we can curtail it to an extent. But if you sit down and say, because like really, sometimes you see these people being arrested and all that. But the point is, what happens after the arrest? Is it all to jail the people? Why are we not considering what is pushing the people into the Galamsey that they know very well?
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up, honorable member. Hello, honorable Margaret.
Yes, please. Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so thank you very much. I did not get the latter, but I think we can still move on. So it is now 10 for the leadership of the various caucuses. I give the chance to the majority leader to have his say on the motion. Fast forward, we move to the minority leader to then we continue from the other items. So, you have the floor, please.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Majority Leader. Okay, so now I can hear you.
I think from the other paper, minority leader is supposed to speak. Then I will make the remarks.
Majority Leader, you do not challenge my order. Can you have your take on the motion, please?
I'm not challenging your order, right, Honorable? And never
okay,
will I.
Then do the needful, please. Okay.
Fantastic.
So, okay.
Thank you for this opportunity once again, Mr. Speaker. To begin with, Mr. Speaker, the fight against galamsey or illegal mining is not only government responsibility, but it should be a national responsibility. Mr. Speaker, it will amaze you to know that the fight against galamsey has been scheduled and then forwarded by various governments since independence. Mr. Speaker, in 1989, in government attempt to deal with illegal mining, that's 33 years ago, introduced the small scale gold mining law, which is PNDC law LI 218. Since then, governments upon governments have been putting order, have been bringing on board policies, laws to curb this canker. In 2016, the government launched Operation Flash Out to deal with illegal miners by the military to flash out all illegal miners in the country. Mr. Speaker, to amaze you to know, this couldn't stop illegal mining. Fast forward, in 2013, the government also launched a 5-member interministerial task force to deal with this same illegal mining. And fortunately, over 4,500 Chinese illegal miners were arrested by the military and were deported. Several hideouts and equipment of these illegal miners from China were destroyed and some of them burnt. Unfortunately, this couldn't see the light of the day. The government failed upon deporting this huge number of Chinese. Fast forward, when the current government, led by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, came into office, he also kept on several measures to deal with this illegal mining. And in Honorable Margaret's submission, although her network was breaking, but I heard some statements that she made. She said we live in a political and corrupt environment. It's one of the reasons we cannot fight galamsey. I agree with her on that score. And she went further to say that government should take responsibility in the fight against galamsey. Mr. Speaker, government alone cannot fight galamsey unless we, the citizenry, help the government. If government alone could have solved this issue of galamsey, like since 1989, we would have won this battle. But moving forward, Mr. Speaker, as she rightly said, the political aspect or the politicization of this galamsey is so erroneous, is so bad that to extend that we have minority or members from the minority side, and for that matter, NDC, politicizing and campaigning for Galamsey to go on. Mr. Speaker, it is factual, and we have video evidence of the NDC national chairman of Oswan Pofo during the 2020 campaign on Galamsey sites, encouraging people to do Galamsey. That when they come, they will help them do Galamsey, which is illegal mining. We have videos, evidence on that. If you Google or if you go to YouTube and type in this heading, you get that video. I also have a copy on my phone. Far from that, Kwaku Boyne, who is the deputy communication officer for the opposition party, NDC, is also on record and on video to also have been saying people should do the illegal mining and nobody can do anything to them. And when they come to power, they will help them do the Galamsey. Mr. Speaker, in wrapping up, the most sad thing is that the former president, John Dramani Mahama, who has ever been president and has also fought Galamsey in one way or the other, was also captured on video in Odumbanso when he had a chiefs and people's deba. And I want to paraphrase what he said. This is former President John Dramani Mahama politicizing the fight against Galamsey, attacking
30 seconds, please. Yeah.
Attacking the measures taken by this government to fight Galamsey. He said, when we come back to power, those arrested because of Galamsey, we will grant them amnesty to come back. We believe they have regretted for what they did, and we will let them come back to continue with their work. This is so sad.
Okay. That is very, very sad for a former president of such a caliber to make such statements. So,
exactly.
Okay, so like I wanted to ask you this question, but let me go to Honorable Zabari Jr., the minority leader, for him to also have his say before I come, and then we try to adjourn this sitting. So, Honorable minority leader, may you also have the opportunity to deliver before the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity once again to buttress the points already raised by the minority caucus in support of the fact that Galamsey should be the responsibility, the stop of Galamsey should be the responsibility of government, not a national responsibility. Even though we are not belittling the fact that as citizens we have an appreciable level of responsibility towards national development, and by extension, the fight towards the stop of Galamsey in our country. Permit me, Right Honorable Speaker, having heard from majority caucus and a mounting defense on the fact that it should be a national responsibility, to state a few things. Right Honorable Speaker, in Chapter 7 of Article 42, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution, it states that every citizen of Ghana of 18 years of age or above and of sound mind has the right to vote and is entitled to be registered as a voter for the purposes of public elections and referenda. End of quote. What does this mean? What does it speak to us? It speaks of the fact that we have the opportunity to select people to lead us. It speaks of the fact that we need to put in place representatives of the very ordinary citizens whose voices we cannot project to the national level to speak for and on our behalf on issues of national interest. The question I wish to ask is this: if this is the case, and as the reality so speak is the fact, would I need to go out there, queue and vote for somebody I have the trust in to lead me? The person comes back and give me an understanding of the fact that I should come back and fight what I have led him, what I have given to him, my power, my will, that on any day, if he returns and instructs me, I will exit, I will do his bidding, that he comes back to me and wants me to fight that which he is supposed or he's elected to fight. I leave this question to posterity. In Article 89 and 92 of the 1992 Constitution, Honorable Speaker, it establishes the Council of States of this particular country. And the Council of States' responsibility is to counsel the president in the performance of his functions. The wisdom behind the construction of the Constitution and by extension, the establishment of this ally is the fact that the president in himself cannot single-handedly perform his functions. Therefore, he needed these council of elders, not just ordinary persons, persons of great repute, persons of wisdom, persons of intellectual ability that can help him to be able to run the affairs of our state. Permit me to mention this. We have the former Chief Justice of Ghana, who is a member, a former Chief of Defense Staff, a former Inspector General of Police, the President of the National House of Chiefs, which includes that all other chiefs within this particular country falls under his jurisdiction. A rep of the 16 regions of Ghana and other 11 members that are appointed by the president. Right, Honorable Speaker, I asked the second question. If we have this opportunity to put these people in this particular place, giving them all our will, all our strength, our power, and they come back to us, asking us to come and fight that which we have kept them there to do for us, is that not a quest in futility? Look, the fight against Galamsey.
Okay, so be wrapping up, please.
I wish to say that it is not a national responsibility, even though I wish to state again that we have a responsibility, but it is the fight of government. May I ask the question again that where are the excavators that were found, that were taken and pounded upon by government in just the recent past? I ask again, if you visit www.thefourthestate.com of Ghana, as led by Manasseh Azuri Awuni, he did an investigative journal piece and published it. And in this quest, he found that over 100 Chinese were found, and a lot of them were jailed. As we speak, just 2 of them can be found in our prisons. What has happened to them? It is a fact that we cannot elect people and expect them to come back to us in no later time to want us to do these things. What can they do? We have no will to be able to put the people that we have into the right perspective and to rob them of the very little that they have and come back and say that, you know, the ordinary citizens are not fighting to help us stop the Galamsey. Right, Honorable
Okay,
Speaker.
so Honorable Minority Leader, I think my network interrupted.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Hello.
Yes, I think we can hear you now.
Hello.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker.
Hello, honorable members. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, we can hear you.
You are on air, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, I think that your voice is loud and clear. Hello, Honorable House.
Yes.
I think that I would want to suggest to the leader of government business, in this case, the Honorable Majority Leader to step in as we anticipate the joining of the Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly.
Hello, honorable members.
Okay. Hello, Right
Yes,
Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker. We are grateful having you back.
Yeah, I'm also happy to have you too. Pardon me, and it wasn't intentional. The network, as usual. Someone said it is as bad as our road network. So thank you very much, Honorable Minority Leader, for a very wonderful presentation. So before we move on, I think we have made it clear from both sides what the guy do and what the citizens should also do. But the political colors and anything that will take off probably our, let's say, conscience, not because you are a member of political party A and we are dealing with this issue, provided you support the party, whatever that we say or you say must be in support of that political party. That one is not going to help us to grow as a youth and also as a country. Before we move on, I would like everybody to unmute his or her microphone for us to sing this anthem. Before that, I know I'm not going to pass judgment, but after the singing of the anthem, we are going to know who has carried the day and who should come back stronger the next time. So everybody should unmute his or her microphone for us to sing. I know most of us can sing. So if you are with me, can you give me
Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Okay, I'm with you, please.
Yes, you know, some of us, it's not everybody that is a G speaking native.
Hello, so we are going by the count of 3.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable. Yes.
Before you proceed, I think that there's a concern in the House, and I wish to draw the attention of the speakership to it. Right Honorable Speaker, there is a concern being raised by an honorable member. I think Honorable Margaret, and it is of great concern to us. And I think that it is important we listen to the honorable member's submission to be able to take that up.
Okay, so what was the consent, please? I think,
Honorable, I was saying, it's not every one of us who is a tree speaking native, and we don't all know how to. Me personally, I don't know how to speak the sing the General Assassinate. I don't know, apart from the first statement, I don't know what else is part of it. But I can equally sing it in my dialect. So I don't know how you want to manage this.
Yes, do it that way.
Okay.
On that score, right?
Honorable member, we don't seem to exclude you. Just pardon us, but I think when we sing the tree or when we sing local dialect, we really understand the lyrics. And
I think that.
Please, can you all put off your microphone so that I will afterwards?
Right, honorable speaker. Right, honorable speaker.
Okay, because Akudugu is speaking, Daniel is also speaking, so who do I listen to?
Right, honorable speaker. I think that my hand is back.
Please, can you unmute your microphone first before I call on whoever wants to make any consent, please. Okay, so Honorable Ban,